Hello, friends. I'm Kerry Pharr. Welcome to In Your Corner. We've got the amazing health practitioner, Dani Williamson, back with us. And if you have a health issue or a family member or a loved one or a friend that has a health issue, I want you to call them up, get them on the phone right now, wake them up. Doesn't matter, because Dani's gonna give you some insight on how you can not only heal your body, she's going to give you some resources where you can go, where she's got all kinds of teaching information to help you heal your body. Dani, it's so good to see you again.
Thank you.
So
glad to be back.
Yes, and let me ask you this. We talked last time, we talked about the standard American diet.
Yes.
And well, you already knew it, but it's been determined that, well, you and I both know that God made this body of ours an amazing body. He made it to self-heal.
You bet.
But a lot of people are cramming so much junk in their body that they've got sickness. And start off with your story. That's kind of the way you were when you were a younger lady.
I was 20 years old when I had my very first colonoscopy, and I had 4 colonoscopies before the age of 40. Endoscopies, barium enemas, diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome as a young kid at 20. And then I itched for years, saw 2 dermatologists, given lots of medicine for that, but yet they have not connected. The health of the gut is directly evident by the health of the skin. So what they were giving me was just fixing something topically, right? Your health of your skin comes from the inside. Then I was diagnosed with lupus. That was a booger. And then I was depressed. So that was a booger. So I spent 24 years seeing doctors, not being able to stop, right? But I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good. I was not 100%, which is how God designed our bodies to be, 100%, right? I didn't feel well. And it took from 20 to 44 before a doctor ever leaned into me and said, Dani, what are you eating, right? Do you know your
something
diet?
about nutrition. No other doctors. All they want to do is give you a pill. They want to put you on a monthly payment plan for the pharmaceutical companies, and that's really what it's all about. It's money, isn't it?
You bet it is. And I was on multiple medications throughout the 24 years and never did like them. I didn't know anything about functional medicine, right? And so, but I just knew internally that my body was not meant to be on those medicines. And there are people who need to be on pharmaceuticals, so I'm not poo-pooing that. I write plenty of prescriptions in my practice. But for me, those words that he said to me, Dani, what are you eating? Do you know your diet controls your disease? What? Those 4 gastroenterologists that I had seen through all those years never once said, what are you eating, Dani? What are you eating? You have diarrhea because of something you're eating. You're bloating because of something you're eating.
What were you eating? What were you eating in those days?
Oh my gosh, I was eating, well, you really want to know? Betty Crocker, frosting, milk chocolate, icing. When I would get stressed out, I would go to the grocery. I kept a spoon in my car. It was literally my crack. I don't do drugs. I've never smoked any of that.
Hey, sugar
I would open that milk
addictive
chocolate Betty Crocker icing and sit in that car and eat that icing. What? They never once said, don't eat put the icing down, Dani. Put the spoon down. I was eating whatever I wanted. Chick-fil-A, Sonic, I was a single mom. So I was feeding my kids 99-cent Totino's pizzas, right? Packaged, processed, bagged garbage is what I was eating, and not thinking a thing about it. Now, I also ate good food, but I also would run through the drive-thru, and I was letting somebody else out their window control my health. I didn't know any better, and I spent $200,000. When Dr. Kalb said this to me, what are you eating? I was $200,000 in debt to Vanderbilt student loans. Right, I just gotten out of nurse practitioner school.
And didn't know nothing about it.
Knew nothing.
Yeah,
I knew how to treat my heartburn with Nexium. I knew how to treat my migraine headaches with Imitrex, right? But I didn't know that there was a root cause for everything going on in my body, everything going on in your body, in their body, in your body. There's a root cause for it. I wasn't born sick.
Yeah, no, you got that way. Well, for those that didn't see you on the program the last time, what are the major culprits that we need to get rid of in the standard American diet?
So there are 7 that are extremely inflammatory to us. Now, there are hundreds of foods, and someone may be sensitive to an avocado.
Before you move on and talk about those 7, somebody might not know what inflammation means, but tell us what inflammation causes in the body.
Inflammation causes systemic,
Overall,
all over your body, pain or what have you. We know that the root cause of 100% of all chronic lifestyle diseases is an inflammatory process. An inflammatory process is heat basically in your body, right? So inflammation is a good thing in small numbers, right? Inflammation is what comes to if you cut yourself, it's an inflammatory process that starts to heal that. But when it goes crazy and systemic, full body, that's when our blood pressure goes up. That's when our diabetes gets turned on, or our headaches, or our joint pain, or high cholesterol. I mean, the list goes on and on for chronic lifestyle diseases. That's inflammation. Inflammation is created, number 1, by food, number 2, by not sleeping, number 3, by not moving, right?
Yeah.
So all those things add up, but the number 1 reason for inflammation in your body is what's at the end of your fork.
Yeah.
Right?
What we're eating is killing us.
You bet it is.
So I interrupted you, and you were going to tell us 6 things that are very important.
7.
All right, 7's even better.
There are 7 foods that we know are extremely inflammatory. Gluten, dairy, soy, corn, sugar, eggs, and peanuts. Those are the top 7 inflammatory food. And yes, eggs are in there, and they're the perfect protein, right? But they are extremely inflammatory to a lot of people. Gluten, dairy, sugar are the top 3. They are the white processed devils, right? They're all white.
And and they're so addictive.
You bet they are. They're extremely addictive. And the food industry knows that. So gluten, dairy, gluten, sugar for sure are in everything, right? That's processed, packaged, bagged, the standard American diet. Mm-hmm. If your food in your cabinet is going to be there next year, it is fake food. You've got to have food on your countertops and in your refrigerator that it has an expiration date, like soon, next week.
So you need to go back to nature as close as possible. As close to it coming off a tree or a plant.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's exactly right. And as simple as 1 ingredient food, right? Just 1 ingredient food. You don't need fancy
all right,
food.
so if I eat a 1 ingredient food, let's say I eat a sweet potato, can I put something on it to make it taste a little better?
Sure, butter? If you want, but, butter's dairy.
Butter's dairy, so we can stay away from butter.
So I eat
coconut
ghee.
oil.
You can put coconut oil, but I don't even put anything on my sweet potatoes. Here's the problem. We have gotten so used to food that doesn't taste like food that we don't even know what a sweet potato tastes like. We have no idea what, green peas taste like with not just the green peas or anything. You can be anything. We cover everything up, especially if you eat out. If you knew what was in your food, what they put in your food when you eat out, you would be horrified because there's a reason it tastes the same all over the world or all over the country, right? Mm-hmm. From chain to chain to chain.
Well, you mentioned a word that I'm very familiar with, Imitrex.
Oh.
My wife's had migraine headaches all of her life, and she's always got Imitrex. And if she has a migraine headache that's really bad, she
sure
puts an Imitrex away. How does somebody overcome something like that?
Well, we start with an elimination diet, right? So when we're talking about migraines, most of the time migraines are food related until proven otherwise. And the neurologists in town that work with me and that trust me know that. And so once Imitrex isn't working or Botox injections, whatever, they send them to me for food sensitivity testing. Food, hormones, barometric pressure, those are 3 big ones for migraine headaches. And so we start though with an elimination diet because it's certainly not going to hurt you. And I tell people, your headaches may not get better, but I'm going to tell you right now, the rest of your body is going to get better. That's exactly right as you decrease inflammation. So we start with an elimination and just helping them figure out what they can eat.
Let's talk about 2 or 3 of the chronic.
Sure.
Blood pressure.
Yeah.
All right. What's the solution?
Well,
high blood pressure.
Right. Tighten up the diet. Exercise. We know that exercise will help lower your blood pressure. Your body is designed to move. It's designed to move. A good friend of mine in town who's a chiropractor says, when you stop moving, you stop moving. It's as simple as that. We are designed
rigor mortis sets in.
You bet,
Yeah,
right? We are designed to, God made our bodies to be pushed to the limit. Not that you have to go do a CrossFit or something, but you got to move every day. You have to sleep. If you're not sleeping at night, your blood pressure is going to go through the roof. Your body heals when you sleep. And if you're sleeping in a room that is loaded with electromagnetic fields, the bed is for sleep and sex only. If you're not doing one or the other, get out of it. Get out of it. And don't have your phone beside your bed, right here at the head of your bed. Well, that's a big deal for headaches as well, by the way, because those electromagnetic fields are coming out. But you have to eat well, you have to sleep well, you have to move well. Blood pressure will start coming down when you start and alcohol's a big deal, and caffeine for blood pressure as well.
Okay. Now, so many people have diabetes because of the standard American diet.
You bet.
Even those that don't eat a lot of sugar, I mean, in Hispanic communities because of the tacos, the tortillas, the
starches.
The starches. And any culture where they have a lot of starches, it creates diabetes. And we know that it's reversible, right?
Type 2 diabetes is for sure reversible, right? Type 1, where you're an insulin dependent, that's still yet to be seen, but we consider that one an insulin dependent. You're on insulin for your life. Yes, it's reversible. Type 2, anything that you've turned on, I am living proof that you can turn off or you can dial down drastically. There is an amazing book called The Blood Sugar Solution that I did not write. Dr. Mark Hyman wrote it, and it's one of the best books I've ever read on reversing diabetes, The Blood Sugar Solution. It's an amazing book, and I would highly recommend it. And it's everything I talk about. You got to change the diet, right? You got to eat a fresh one-ingredient diet. You do.
One-ingredient diet.
Real food, right? Real fish. We don't eat enough fish either. Of course, then you get into the mercury. Don't micromanage all of this, right? I'd much rather you eat clean, good fish than worry about how much mercury's in it.
Yeah.
All right?
And don't eat processed food. I mean, that's you know, so many people, that's all they eat is processed food.
If you open up your freezer, and I have patients just visualize, you know, if it's loaded with frozen pizzas and frozen burgers and frozen tortilla, I mean, you know, pizza rolls and all those things, you're killing yourself and you're killing your children. Here's the thing. We have an opportunity right now, we did during this season, the last 9 months, to change the entire trajectory of our children's lives. Because we were given a gift to slow down. And we could have gotten back in the kitchen. And we could have started cooking one ingredient food and slowing down. But you want to know what I saw for the most part?
They got more processed food.
You bet it did. More comfort food, right?
And sit there and watch television.
That's exactly right. And it's unfortunate because we really had a great opportunity to turn this ship around and to ride it up.